Shopify's Q3 earnings have proved that they're on the way to claim back their throne. So, is this the right time to buy? Sit tight as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. According to the report, the EPS was a negative 2 cents, which was 5 cents more than the expected EPS of a negative 7 cents, indicating a surprise of 70%, with the reported revenue standing at $1.37 billion, giving analysts a surprise of 1.93%, beating the expected $1.34 billion. CEO Tobias said that the company is working towards becoming profitable again, which has helped the stock go up. In our opinion, Shopify has to fix its fundamentals, and it's the perfect time to do so, since e-commerce giants like Amazon are taking a hit as well from this recession period. It would be difficult for Shopify to grow. But nevertheless, scaling solutions will probably go up once more people start their own business, which will in turn help Shopify. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. As you guys can see right here, we're now in the one-day chart for Shop, and right off the bat, we can see that even though we got a boost over here on the short term thanks to the earnings, the stock was in a beaten up condition all this time, and we can see that currently we're still below this $36 high that we made, pretty much 35.75, but it's the same thing, and we can see that we've made somewhat of a reverse head and shoulder pattern, not exactly but somewhat. So if we take the $35 level as the base, we can see that we made a shoulder over here, a head, another shoulder, and now we're over here. So if you ask me what's going to happen next, in my opinion, Shop will, or it might reverse from here, but of course, considering the market conditions, it most likely won't be able to get in a bull run so soon. So in my opinion, this level should last for a few days, and we might just see a gap down on Monday. Now, I'm not too sure about this. This is Monday, yeah. I'm not too sure about this, but in my opinion, we should get a pullback after going up straight for so many time. And especially with Shopify, people are a bit scared to invest in this stock because of all of the negative stuff going around it. And considering the fact that, of course, Amazon has fallen below the $1 trillion valuation, the e-commerce industry is not in the best condition right now. Despite that, of course, the stock went up, but if it weren't for the earnings, we can see that we already got a pin bar candle on the negative side over here, indicating selling pressure. So we were pretty much in for a bearish trend if it were not for these earning reports. So does that mean you should stay away from the Shopify stock? Not exactly, right? It's a great stock if you want to trade, right? It has good volume, it has good interest, it has good price action, good volatility. But in my opinion, for long-term investing, of course, Shopify will get to better prices eventually, right? It's not at the best accumulating price right now, $34. It's been at $34 before, and we've seen it go all the way down to this low over here at $23, right? The same scenario happened with most stocks. The entire market pretty much bottomed on 13th October. But I still believe that we will go down even further, because we all know that with the Fed hiking interest rates, mortgage rates climbing, and all of that stuff, the Fed is basically determined to control inflation at this point. And if they won't care what comes in the way, whether it's stock, real estate, or whatever, you know. So with that, I personally don't think that this is the right time to buy the stock. Of course, it's a good stock. I'm not saying that it's a bad stock. And especially now that they've reported such good earnings, I believe that they actually might be able to reverse things up and make the company a whole new thing, right? They might even bring up new innovation. They might get new employees. They might get new parents, new partnerships, new collaborations. They might acquire a company or something, right? Anything can happen from here onwards. And I do have some hopes for the Shopify stock, considering that I've used the service in the past as well. So I believe that it should probably cool off a bit from this bullish trend in some time. And once it does, it will probably come back into this range and even go below this, right? That's possible, still possible. So once that is done, I'll probably buy under $30. Of course, if you're doing DCA, go ahead, right? No one's stopping you, but under $30 would probably be my favorable accumulation zone. So if we were to take out a 1-year price target for Shop, let's consider that market scenarios get better. It can straight up go and get a 100% gain, going from a price of 30 to 60 by next year's October easily, right? But of course, if the market conditions worsen, that's a different story altogether, and that's not really something that we can predict. With that being said, I believe there is nothing left to analyze in the 1 day chart, so let's quickly jump on into the 1 hour chart. So now that we're in the 1 hour chart, we can see that we have a very strong resistance over here, and the level exactly would be somewhere around, I believe, 34.5, because we can see that we squeezed up into this range yesterday as well, right? We did get a support over here around $33, and over here we made a double bottom pretty much at 32.6, right? Another support which has been holding up well is around 33.85, right? It worked over here, and over here as well. So with that, I believe that on the 1 hour chart, we can clearly see that the stock is squeezing up, and there's kind of an indecision in the market, I would say, right? We can see that we got into a gap down over here on 28th itself, and we did go up a bit, but it wasn't enough to get it into a, I would say, sustainable day, I guess, right? But for that, if the next day, of course, comes out to be a gap down, which it will likely be, because as you guys can see, we did get a pin bar candle to the downside over here, right? Over here, we can see that we got a pin bar candle to the downside. If, however, in the next day's pre-market, we get a pin bar candle pattern to the upside, that is a different story altogether. And if we get that, we might be in for a reversal on the upside. But so far, I think the stock should get into a gap down on Monday, and it might be a similar scenario to what happened on Friday, where it goes down in the first few candles and then recovers. But I hardly doubt that it will be able to break this $34.5 level. If it does, well, it's great news, right? I could be wrong, but in my opinion, Shopify still lacks a few things that will probably prevent it from growing even in the short term, right? It will grow in the long term, that's a different story. But with the short term, I don't think that Shopify has it right. I don't believe there's much left to analyze in the 1 hour chart, so quickly mark on these levels and we'll quickly move on to the 5 minute charts. So now that we're in the 5 minute chart, we can see a lot more detail over here. So first up, we can see that we got a pin bar candle over here, right? We got somewhat of a double engulfing pattern over here, which indicated a fall, which, well, it did fall. After that, we can see that we did get a pin bar, but it failed at a level of, after hitting this price of 33.85, which we already discussed, I believe. And after that, we can see that we have another resistance around the level of 33.665, I believe. Right, it acted as a support over here and a resistance over here, and over here as well, and a support over here, and it didn't act up after that. So we can see that over here, for example, we made a double bottom at the price of 32.6, and over here, after that, in the mid-market period, we did get a good bull run. But after that, you can see that things kind of went sideways, right? They were still positive, we were still going up, but they kind of went, sideways. We got somewhat of an engulfing candle over here, fell down, made somewhat of a double bottom, got supported around 33.8. After that, we did get supported again. After that, again, we can see that it was, again, kind of not exactly a head and shoulder pattern, making shoulder, head, and shoulder. And after that, of course, we went up. But this part particularly, let's quickly analyze the candlestick patterns as well. We can see that we were getting some selling pressure. Of course, some of these candles, like this one, for example, indicate sold buying pressure, right? And let's see this one as well. Good buying pressure, right? Of course, this one was the perfect example, but right after that, we can see that the spin bar candle got cancelled out thanks to this negative candle, indicating that there was some buying pressure. We have a small wick on the upside. It indicates that we did get some buying pressure, but the sellers eventually won, standing, or sending the stock down below to a price of $34.2. With that, as I already told you, I am bearish on the stock on the short term, and I might buy some options. I might buy some put options, or I might sell some call options. Let's see what happens. But anyways, I am bearish on the stock. It will recover if you're willing to hold it eventually for the long term. Sure, you might want a DCA, but remember that this definitely was not financial advice, and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.